collection are increasing in Goa. What do you like to say on that?
See,
Drunken driving mostly.
as far as drunken driving is concerned, I am very strict about this because I believe that before anyone sits on the vehicle, he should be sure that he has not taken any alcohol. कायद्याने कितें आसा, there is a limit for alcohol. But थोडे लोक एकू मारल्यार they don't have to have the limit. एकू मारल्यार they lose their kind of balance and they lose the little kind of sensitivity. And some people get affected even with one drink. So I believe first thing that limit has to be eliminated, that you have taken a drink. I can understand you have taken a cough syrup which may have some alcohol. That's why that limit may be there. But you don't have so much of a cough syrup where you have a bottle of a cough syrup. So therefore I believe that drunken driving, police must be very strict. And I have already said one thing about drunken driving. There are, I assembly in Basun Mulla, that pubs are thinga, these kind of night clubs and all this. Police should be stationed outside to make sure who are driving. We have this in Bombay, in Bangalore, in many other places, even in Delhi. They have the checks. So what happens is, whenever people go for a party, I don't say people should not drink. There should be one who should be sober, who will not touch alcohol. That person will drive. And the others can drink, they can be sozzled, we don't care what they may be. But that one person who is at the wheel should not have touched any alcohol. So I believe that this kind of checks, if they are increased in the day or the night, कित्याक आतां सोय आसा, especially commercial vehicle drivers and especially not non-Goans, ते पयले उठतात, ते तावरदां वयतात थिंगा, उठतात ते 12 पावतात आनी मागीर तेंकां ते फोर्स मेळटा तांकां आनी मागीर ते गाडयेचेर बसतात. That is wrong. So I believe that the government must ensure that even in the day, not just in the night, not just party time, but also in the day, check these, and especially commercial vehicles, because in commercial vehicle there is a higher responsibility. If it is a passenger commercial vehicle, you are taking people. It can be a taxi, it can be a minibus, it can be a regular bus. You are carrying people, you are endangering them. And then you are endangering lives of innocent people on the road. So I think the government should be very strict on this kind of thing. Not making statements, there must be action. It is not accident Zatri Magi, they should get on the ground for 1 week and lokak lakopa, photo kadpa, video kadpa. It should be a daily affair and surprise checks at different places.
What do you like to say on Verna incident that 4 people have been died?
It is very sad. It reminds me of that case of Alistair Pereira in Bombay, where the son of a rich industrialist drove on the footpath and killed some innocent people in a drunken stupor. And that is where the High Court carved out that it can't be 304A, it has to be 304 Part 2. And the Supreme Court upheld this view, and that is the law now today, that when you have the knowledge that your act is likely to cause death, it can't be simply rash and negligent act under 304A, it should be 304 Part 2. If there's an intention, it's different. It's 304 Part 1 where there is life imprisonment. Here there's up to 10 years imprisonment in 304 Part 2. That incident is a very sad reflection of the state of affairs. And I sincerely want to know who was the driver and from where he was. And I think today that we must have a system by which we check up the drivers. They should have a sort of a prerequisite, sort of a book or a checklist, a card, I would say, which they are certified fit before they sit on a bus. When you are engaged by a company, the company should at least verify that you are in senses, you are not drowsy, you are not sleepy, and you are not drunk. If a person is drunk, it can be smelled, it can be felt. And I think that the company also owes a duty or responsibility. How did they allow such a driver to sit on a bus? Now, if the bus came to the company doors and went out with the people, then the company has to answer. If the bus left from, let us say, Margaon, Vasco, or any other place, then the owner is responsible how he allowed such a drunkard to get into a bus. So I think these are things, that checkpoints which need to be done. And as I said, sudden this thing also, monitoring needs to be done.